So you can choose how you start. If you want to start even seated in your chair or seated on the ground, facing your chair, using your chair as a little bit of a rest. You can put a blanket over your chair or a pillow over your chair to make it a little softer if it feels hard. Or you can start in a more traditional way, seated on your mat. Beginning to bring yourself into the space that you have created for your practice and observing the energy around you. We bring energy into our space regardless of whether we intend to or not. It comes along with us. And we can choose then what we tune into energetically in our space. And so bringing your awareness, particularly as you situate props and new props that you may not have worked with before, noticing if you feel a shift in your space. Do you notice a shift in your space, particularly if we're practicing at home and we may be utilizing a space that we didn't used to use for a yoga practice? And how does your space feel different to you when you set it up for yoga? Just beginning to scan through your body, acknowledging or recognizing places where you may be holding some tension or stress. And starting to let that begin to shift. The tension and stress may or may not start to release, encouraging a shift in the body. And as you begin to notice small shifts or larger shifts, start to tune into your breath, letting the flow of your breath as it naturally comes fill your awareness. Letting your eyes begin to softly close. They're not already. Making a conscious shift of your breath to come in and out of your nose. Honoring the flow that if you feel the need to exhale through the mouth at different points, or take a cycle of breath through your mouth, this is okay. Returning to a conscious inhale and exhale through the nose as you can. Softening any tension from the tops of your shoulders, relaxing them away from your ears. And then however you're seated, walking your hands behind you, fingers point towards you, or grabbing the back of your chair if you chose to sit in the chair. Let yourself just begin to lean back, hands taking some weight, lifting the collarbones, maybe lifting your gaze, opening your eyes. And then using the strength of your core rather than your hands, start to sit up tall, maybe coming onto the fingertips. And then inhale to reach your arms out and up. Gaze up at your hands. And then as you exhale, pull your hands down so your thumbs rest at your heart center. Take a moment here. Notice what that felt like in the backs of your shoulders, your upper back. And then inhale, separate your hands out about as wide as your shoulders. Go to your body's preference here. Fingers are still pointed towards the sky. Palms are still pressed towards each other energetically. And then on an exhale, take your left hand to your right hand. Keeping the torso square. Thumbs are now resting in front of your armpit or the very front of your shoulder. Optionally, use an exhale to look to your left. On an inhale, bring your head to the center, and exhale, your hands come to the center. Inhale, separate your hands again. Thumbs draw towards the outsides of the shoulders, keeping the elbows lifted a bit, fingers pointed to the sky. Notice where you feel a stretch here. Then on an exhale, take your right palm to your left palm. Shoulders are square. The tendency is going to be for that right shoulder to want to creep forward. Think about lifting your collarbones to help prevent that. And on your next exhale, maybe you look to your right. You inhale, bring your gaze back to the center, and your exhale brings your thumbs to your breastbone. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up. And exhale, open them out, down, and behind you. Again, setting the hands down behind you or grabbing the back of the chair. Inhale, lift your chest, arch your back, take your gaze up a comfortable amount. Exhaling here. And then as you inhale, sit yourself up, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to your right. Take that right hand behind you, left hand across the body. Inhale up to the center, both arms come high. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, back to the center, two arms up. Exhale, right hand to your side, grabbing the side of the chair, lean to your right. Stretching through the left side of your body. Inhale up to the center, two arms come high. Exhale, left hand comes down, leaning to your left. Noticing the stretch or the sensations on the right side of the body. Inhale to the center, both arms up. And exhale out to cactus arms. Elbows are about as high as your shoulders. Shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. Inhale, straighten your elbows. Exhale, bending the elbows. Even taking the fingers all the way to the head. Keep the upper arm still as you inhale, lengthen out the arms. And exhale, bend the elbows in. One more. Inhale, reach out to a T. Exhale, bend the elbows in. Inhale here and exhale to draw your elbows towards each other, rounding through your upper back. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Inhale, open through the chest. Open the elbows out to the sides. Hands are behind your head as your head lifts to look up. Exhale, round your back, belly button in, elbows into the midline. Gaze goes down. Inhale, open up the front body, lifting the gaze, supporting the head with your fingers. Finding your way to a nice neutral position in your spine. Using an exhale to release your arms down. Coming to a kneeling position, hands either on blocks or the chair. Fingers are going to point away from you and hands are going to spread nice and wide. Wrap your pinky fingers and your ring fingers around the side of the chair, if that's accessible to you. This brings your index fingers to point straight forward. Substituting blocks for chair here, that same hand position if you don't have a chair handy. Notice that you're leaning a little bit forward into the chair. There's a little bit of space here. I want you to slide your knees back a bit so that you're even more leaning into this. There's even more space. And then bring your hips over your knees. Again, you'll notice this creates an angle in the back. The arms are reaching forward. Find a nice long back of your neck here, gazing at the seat of your chair, the space between your blocks. And then send your tailbone back, scoop your spine, pull your shoulder blades together, lift your chest towards the back of the chair. Tuck your tailbone, pull your belly button in, round your back, take your gaze down to the ground. Inhale, find that neutral, long spine lengthening out from the crown of your head to the tip of your tailbone. And walk your hands forward or your blocks forward about the length of your forearm. Set your forearms down on your chair. Release your head between your arms. It's okay if your hips are back of your knees or they can be stacked, whichever feels better to you. When you breathe in, bring your hands to that starting position. Index fingers point towards the back of the chair. Pinkies and ring fingers wrap around. And step your right foot up. Finding a low lunge here. Walk that foot forward enough that your knee is right at the chair. Your foot's right between the blocks. Finding a level of stability and support here. Again, begin to inhale, lift your chest and collarbone. Exhale, press the blocks and chair away to help you straighten your right knee. Inhale, bend into the right knee. It comes to rest against the chair. Lift your heart, lift your chest. Exhale, round a little bit in the back, straightening the knee. You can even start to bend the elbows, introducing a stretch in the back of the leg. Folding over. Inhale as you bend the right knee. Chest lifts. Gaze might even start to lift. Exhale, straightening the knee, folding down over that right leg. Inhale, bend the knee, lift the torso, find that lifted chest. And then come to neutral, slide the right leg back, exchange it with the left. Left foot is right under the chair between the blocks. Knee rests against the chair for support. Inhale, lift the collarbone. You exhale, press away, straightening the left leg. Inhale, bend the knee, lift the chest. Straightening that left knee, maybe starting to fold over the left leg. Inhale, bend into the knee, chest lift, spine slightly scoop, gaze lift. Exhale, straighten the knee, folding over. Inhale, coming upright into that nice square low lunge, neutral spine. Slide that left leg back next to your right. Tuck your tailbone, round your spine, press the chair blocks away. And then inhale, start to lean yourself forward, unfold the body. Lengthen out, tuck the tailbone under, supported high plank here on your knees. Noticing the stretch through the front of the body. If you'd like, you can bring your forearms to your block or chair and deepen into a modified cobra or sphinx. Notice what that feels like in your SI joint and low back, keeping a separation in your knees. Inhale, lift from the tailbone. Send it straight back. Head comes between your arms. Your back is in a downward dog position, finding length from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Take a few breaths here. And then on your inhale, bring your hands closer to the end of the seat or your blocks closer to you. Again, wrapping those fingers around the edge of the chair. Step your right foot up to the outside of your chair blocks. Maybe you angle the right foot out a little bit and sink into this modified lizard, keeping the torso upright, shoulders are still over your hips. You might experience some bend in the low back, that's fine. You can stay here, or if you'd like, tuck your back toes, float your back knee off the mat. Using the chair to provide stability here. When you're ready, if you have the back knee lifted, set it down, untuck the toes. Start to shift the hips back over that back knee so you can bring the right leg next to the left. And then step your left foot to the outside of the chair blocks, slight angle out of the foot if you like. For me, it works really nicely to put the arch of my foot with the foot of the chair. And then leaning into this just slightly, noticing the stretch in the hip. Optionally tuck your right toes under, float your right knee up. Letting the weight evenly divide between hands and feet. Putting that back knee down if you hadn't lifted, untucking the toes. Take the left leg back next to the right. Tuck both toes under and start to lift your knees off the mat. Send your tailbone back. Head comes down between your arms. Set your heels down on the mat. Feet are either together or hips width distance apart. And begin to pedal out your feet, deeply bending through one knee and then the other. It feels really tight in your hamstrings to have the knees straight and the feet flat. You can always keep the knees slightly bent or keep the heels slightly lifted off the mat. Noticing how down dog feels in this variation that's supported by blocks or chair. Puts a completely different emphasis on the pose for some people. Coming into stillness if you're pedaling out the feet and really establishing your connection between all four corners of the feet. Notice the lengthening in the back body. Next time you inhale, take your gaze up to blocks or chair and step halfway up. Lift through the upper body. If you exhale, bend your knees, transfer your hands to your thighs. Chest comes upright, gaze lifts slightly. Inhale, straighten your knees, sweep your arms out and up overhead. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart center. Notice the feeling of your equal standing pose. Is your weight truly divided between both feet, the two sides of your body? Do you feel you're leaning to one side slightly? See if you can draw that side of your body up and the other side of the body down. Next time you inhale, reach down, out, and up, overhead. As you exhale, take your hands to your chair or block. Gaze goes down, bend the elbows, drawing them closer to the mat. Inhale, lift up until your back is flat and long. Might be angled. Exhale, bend your elbows, draw them down. Head passes through between the arms to hang down. Next time you inhale, lift up halfway, straighten the elbows, take the chest forward, scoop the low back, lifting through the heart. As you exhale, step your left foot back on a 45-degree angle, bend into your right knee. Stay here, chest is lifted or re-lift it if you took it down. You can stay here as you inhale. Raise your torso, lift your arms. Warrior one. The raising of the arms really just adds weight to warrior. It doesn't change it a whole lot. Next time you exhale, take your hands down to your props, same hand position. Take that left leg so that the foot points straight and step your right leg back into downward facing dog. Noticing that length in the back. Drawing the belly button towards the spine. Next time you inhale, take your gaze up towards your props and exhale, step the left foot up, bend the knee, turn the right foot out slightly. Inhale, lift to the chest. Exhale here, press to the outside edge of that back foot. Inhale, option to raise your arms. Warrior one. Exhaling, take your hands down to the chair or your props. Pivot that right foot straight. Step the left one back. Tailbone goes back. Spine goes along. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step up halfway. Bring the forearms down to your props. Exhale, release down. Head draws between the arms. Inhale, walk your hands in closer to the edge of the chair. Straighten your arms, half lift. Exhale, step it back, lengthen through your back, downward facing dog. Head between arms. Inhale, one hand at a time, shift your hands to your legs. Exhale, release into this fold, bend your knees, draw your chest closer to your thighs. Exhale here. As you inhale, maybe you start to straighten your knees. Exhaling. Inhale, sit back into chair. Slide your hands up to your thighs. Exhale, straighten your knees, finding your mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to the right hip or the side of the body, lean to your right. Inhale, come up to the center, two arms come high. As you exhale, your left hand goes to your hip, lean to your left, reach over with the right arm. Inhale, up, two arms come high. Exhale, reach out as you lead with your chest and swan dive forward, all the way down into this fold. When you get to what you think is your max, bend your knees. Inhale. Reach around behind your calves as you exhale and straighten your knees. Inhale, half lift. Slide the hands around the front of the legs, reaching them up. Exhale, take your hands to your chair or blocks. Down dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you, reaching it up. As you exhale, step it all the way up by your chair. Bend into that knee. Pivot out on your right foot. Pausing here, two hands still on the chair. And then inhale, cartwheel that right arm up and out. Arms come out to a T. Torso turns to face the long edge of your mat, warrior two. Breathing into the space. Letting your gaze soften, your jaw relax. On your inhale, bend your front elbow. Take your front forearm down to your chair. And then exhale that arm up and over. Finding length through the right side of your body. Notice how this toes feels different supported by a chair. Does your bottom side, your left side, feel like it has more space? Inhale, begin to lift up, arms reach out into warrior two. Turn that front palm towards the ceiling, so when you exhale, your right hand can go to your back leg, your left hand can reach for the sky. Inhale, straighten your front knee, bring your arms straight off your shoulders into a T. You exhale, start to reach forward with your left arm until you can't reach forward anymore. And then set the hand down on the chair, finding your triangle pose. Inhale, lift up, bend into your left knee, warrior two. Exhale, tilt back like a teeter-totter. Right hand reaches back to the back leg. Left hand reaches high. Staying stable and strong. Next time you inhale, start to pivot so that your hips face the chair. You might need to step your left foot out a little bit, creating space. And exhale, take the left hand down to the chair. Bend the right. Torso and hips now face the chair or blocks. Bend into that left knee still. Start to see, you can stay here or start to shift your hands one at a time behind you. They can come to low back, they can come to clasp. And then maybe you begin to fold over your leg, resting your chin or shoulders on your chair. Your hands are behind you. Bring them one at a time to the chair. Inhale, press yourself up, bring that back foot to point forward. And exhale, step your left leg back, straightening the knee, lengthen the back out, downward facing dog. Next time you inhale, sweep that right leg up behind you. Exhale to place it up by the chair, bending into the knee. Pivot out on the left foot, opening the hips. Stay here first to really open the heart forward. And then start to sweep that left arm up, press away with the right hand. Warrior two, gaze comes down that front arm. Arms are once again shoulder height. Bending into your front elbow on your inhale. Exhale, take that right forearm all the way down to your block or chair. Sweeping the left arm over to your comfort. Your right knee starting to wobble in. Walk your right heel out under your knee. Oh, just breath. On your inhale, start to lift up. You can help with your right hand. Coming to warrior two. Turn your right palm towards the sky. Tilt back as you exhale, tilting like a teeter-totter. Reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior two. Straighten your right knee. As you exhale, reach forward with your right hand. Keep reaching forward until you can't reach forward anymore. Then set that hand down on your prop. Maybe the forearm comes down. And you reach the left hand up for the sky. Inhale, start to press into that right hand to lift up. Maybe you walk the right foot out a little bit. Pivot on the left foot so it turns forward. Hips turn square to the short edge of your mat. Two hands to the chair block. Bent right knee as you inhale, lift. You can stay here, or optionally one hand at a time. Let the hands drift behind your back, clasping if you'd like. And then using an exhale, fold forward, chin, forehead, or shoulders to your chair. Your inhale, one hand at a time, comes to the seat of the chair. Press the arms to straight. And then as you exhale, send your right foot back near your left to lengthen out through your back, downward facing dog. Next time you breathe in, step up halfway between the chair and you, lift partway up. Exhale, bend your knees, send your tailbone back behind you, transfer your hands to your thighs. Inhale, straighten your knees, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart center. how your torso feels. What's your stability level feel like? Is there less tension through the upper back, the shoulders? And blinking your eyes open, release your hands down to your sides in mountain pose. If you're using the chair, you want to go ahead and turn it around so the back of the chair faces you. Once you're situated, join me with your left side facing the chair, left hand lightly resting on it, imagining as if it were a ballet bar. If you don't have a chair handy and you're using the block pillow alternative, scoot over to a wall, it will help. So finding your way into your mountain pose here, that left hand, instead of resting against your body, will lightly rest on the back of the chair. Inhale as you lift up through your rib cage, and exhale, release down through the tops of your shoulders. Shift weight into your left foot so that as you inhale, you can start to draw your right leg up in front of you. Right hand can come behind it for support, can come to the inside, can come to the front. Flex through your foot, finding stability here, letting the chair catch any wobbles you may have, and you might want to find a focal point. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes it helps to close the eyes and tune out all visual stimuli, letting your vestibular system do its job. You can stay here, or you can begin to slide your hand down towards your ankle, or even to your foot. Grabbing a hold and lifting up a little more. And again, you can stay here. You can start to extend that leg out long. Staying grounded into that left foot, slight bend in the left knee. Drawing your torso up tall and long wherever you are. And exhale, start to open that hip out to the side. Let the chair be your support or the wall be your support here. Inhale, bring the leg back to the midline, bending in if you had it extended. And exhale, set it down on the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Really reach high, even higher than normal. And then exhale, lean to your left, bend into your left elbow. Let the wall or the chair take some of the weight here. Actively reach away with the right arm. Press the bottom of the right foot into the mat. Weight's gonna want to come out of it. Keep the stretch in the right side of the body. Inhale, come all the way up to the center. And exhale, release your right arm down. You can turn around or flip the side that the chair is on in some way that works for you. Letting the right hand lightly rest on that chair. Grounding down, finding your mountain pose first. Mountain pose is the foundation of every standing pose we do. Once you feel ready, take your inhale to start to lift the left leg up. Does not matter how high. Bring your left leg to your left leg, somewhere that's comfortable for you. Flexing through the left foot. Grounding the weight down evenly through the entire right foot. Slight bend in that right knee. Soft gaze, focal point, or closed eyes. You may notice that one side has a different preference than another. It's normal. You can stay here, optionally start to slide that left hand down towards your ankle or foot, grabbing a hold, pulling up a little bit. And you can stay here nice and tall. You can shift that hand back to the shin, or you can start to lengthen the left leg out. Wobbling is good. Shaking is good. You chose to straighten the knee, bringing it into a bend. Supporting that left leg, take it out to the side. One more breath here. Bring it into the center. Release the left arm and set your left foot down. Inhale, sweep that left arm all the way up. And as you exhale, lean over to your right. Press into your left foot. Keep the weight divided. Keep reaching away with that left arm. Inhale, draw yourself up tall. Two arms come high. Exhale the arms down to the small of your back. Squeeze your elbows closer together. And then gently begin to press your hips forward, lifting the chest. Inhale to the center, shoulders come over the hips. Exhale, release your arms to your sides, mountain pose. Notice how the two sides of your body feel. How does the strength of your body feel? And then take your hands over to your chair or blocks. Turn your toes to point towards that chair and walk back. Hands are on the back of the chair, the seat of the chair. It doesn't matter to me. Finding a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up part of the way. So head and shoulders come out from between the arms. And as you exhale, step your left foot about halfway up to your prop. Keep all the toes pointed straight ahead and the knees straight but not locked. Only movement here is going to come from your hips. Your hands may need to transfer lower on your props. That's okay. Start to hinge from the hip. Maybe you rest the forehead on the back of the chair or transfer the hands to the back of the chair. If you're using a chair that has a support brace at the bottom, maybe the hands even come there. Noticing the stretch in the back of the front leg. On your next inhale, if your head is resting somewhere, start to lift it up in line with the rest of your spine. Start to lift your left heel wherever you are. Ultimately lifting that left leg up behind you. Hands can stay on the back of the chair. They can stay on the seat of the chair. Chest can rest even on the back of the chair and arms can come forward. Finding warrior three. If you chose to reach forward, return your hands to chair or block. Start to set that left foot down. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps halfway up this time. Inhaling, lifting. Maybe hands come up to the back of the chair. Standing tall first before you start to hinge forward from the hips, straight but not locked legs and feet. Finding a stretch in the back of the left leg this time. And gently begin to lift some weight out of that right heel. Maybe the chest comes to rest on the back of the chair. The leg lifts. Maybe hands transfer to the seat of the chair or even reach straight out in front of you. Finding warrior three. Your hands are lifted, find them on the seat of the chair or the block. Start to set your right foot down onto the mat. And then step your left foot back next to it, hips width distance, down dog. Head comes between the arms. Pull your belly button in a little bit, engaging your core. And then inhale, step up halfway. And take one leg behind you or transfer your way down to your mat in any way that feels right for you, facing the chair, the block. You may wish to turn your chair around, or it can stay the way it was. Take your legs long in front of you, through the chair or to the outsides of the chair if that's more comfortable. Let your hands rest on the seat of the chair just to get yourself situated into a staff pose here. Hands can stay where they are. Elbows are heavy, creating openness in the chest. Or you can begin to walk your fingers down the seat of the chair, draping your upper body over the chair. For support, flexed feet. Resist the urge, if you can reach the back of the chair, resist the urge to pull on it. And start to walk your hands in closer so that you're cupping the front of the seat of the chair, and then press it away to draw yourself upright. Finding staff pose. Inhaling and exhaling. Release your hands down to the mat on either side of your hips. Bend your knees so the feet come to the mat. And scoot your hips a little closer to your chair. A good judge of this distance is often when knees come close to hitting the chair. And then bring your spine down onto the mat. You may decide you want to wiggle closer. You may not. Oh. And then take your left foot up onto the chair. Let the heel rest on it. Or you can bring the bottom of your left foot to the edge of your chair. Finding a nice neutral spot in your SI joint here. And then walk that left foot over to the outside of your right leg. Letting your legs cross over. The foot can stay on the chair or it doesn't have to. Your left foot can stay where it is. It can reach for the ground, or your right foot can lift up, setting your right heel onto the chair, onto the edge of the chair. Squeeze the legs together. Your legs are in eagle pose, so we'll add the arms in. Reach your arms out to a T, and then inhale, reach for the ceiling. Cross your right arm closer to your face than your left, and bend your elbows to bring the backs of the arms together. Maybe the palms come towards each other. Unwrap the arms, take them down alongside your torso. And then slide the left ankle up to the left thigh, finding more of a figure four pose here. You may want to switch where your right foot is resting. Uncross the legs. Bring both heels to the chair. And then both heels down to the mat. Take your right foot up to the chair. And start to walk it over to the outside of your left leg. Maybe crossing it all the way over. You can stay here, or you can begin to lift the left foot up off the mat to the back of the seat of the chair, heel on the seat of the chair. Drawing the lower legs closer together here, finding the lower part of eagle. And then when you feel situated, take your arms to a T first. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, left arm comes closer to your face. Right arm is closer to your legs as you bend the elbows, bringing the backs of the forearms together. Maybe the palms wrap around. Noticing how ego feels on this side. Take one more breath here. Unwinding the arms, breathing down alongside your torso. Slide the right ankle onto the left thigh, flexing through the right foot. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then if the left foot is up on the chair, bring it down to the mat. Uncrossing the legs of both feet, come to the mat. Sweep your knees from side to side. And then if you're practicing with the blocks and pillows today, set the pillow on top of your blocks on high. If you're using a chair, begin to bring your feet up onto the chair. You can let as much of your lower leg rest on the chair as is comfortable for you. Letting the upper body begin to feel the support of this resting pose. Resting in a small inversion this morning to help settle the nervous system, to integrate balance, noticing how it feels for you, making adjustments as you need, letting relaxation start to come into the feet and toes. Notice the connection between your tailbone and the ground. It may feel more prominent here. Arms can stay long alongside your body, or maybe you want to rest your hands somewhere along your torso, tuning into your breath. Noticing how your breath is flowing. Maybe you feel like lowering your gaze or closing your eyes. Where do you feel your breath in your body? Letting relaxation come into your face, across your forehead, and in your jaw. Maybe you tuck and untuck your tailbone a few times, finding a comfortable spot, a nice neutral pelvis. Notice how that shifts where you feel your breath in your body. Beginning to count the length of your inhale. Acknowledging a beat before you begin to exhale. Counting the length of your exhale. And acknowledging the space before you begin to inhale again. So maybe you inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause for 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause for 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing for 1. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, before pausing and continuing with your rate of breath, close to the same length for inhale and exhale, noticing the pause between. No matter how brief it feels, it's there. Keep your focus on that count. Gently releasing the count, letting the mind be free for a moment. You can keep your legs on your props, or if you prefer to lengthen your legs out, framing or going under your chair, it's an option as well. Finding your way into stillness. Letting your mind return, scanning through your body. Acknowledge each part between crown and soles of the feet. Your mind likes to wander. Acknowledge the places it goes, as thinking or feeling, and draw the mind back to a body part that is in contact with your mat. Gently beginning to bring your mind back into your practice space. Checking in with physical sensations. Checking in with your mental, emotional place. Where are you holding that emotional state in your physical body? Bring movement in a tiny way into that place. Maybe it's moving your head from side to side, or wiggling your shoulders around. And when you're ready, bend through your knees if they're not bent, drawing them closer to your torso. Finding your way onto a side, supporting your head and your body. Notice your breath. Observe where you feel your breath moving. As you're ready, begin the process of joining me in a seated posture. Take your time. Settling into stillness as you arrive. Pulling props in for support as you like. You could even move to sit in your chair. As you come into an upright position, begin at the crown of your head. Scan your way down once again. Acknowledging the state of each body part. Letting it be filled with a sense of calm, even if it's by invitation only. When you finish scanning through your body, draw your awareness back to your breath, feeling it travel in and out, whether it's coming in and out the nose or in the nose, out the mouth. Inhale to sweep your arms out and up to your capacity, bending the elbows as needed. And exhale, draw your hands down that midline, opening your eyes if you had them closed. I thank each one of you for giving yourself the gift of the practice today. Namaste.